So we gave the first part to Anand. Actually, really a great game. Now, well, Carlsen's turn. Okay, so this is their most recent game, and tiny bit was shocking, like this game, because they're going to play a World Championship match. I mean, this we are really speaking less than 5 months ago. This cannot be the way that Anand is going to play in the match. I mean, this will be the Women's World Championship match. Okay, between Hue Fan and Anna Oshinina. Okay, Hue Fan was even a bigger favorite, I think, than Carlsen is here. But still, to imagine that she will be the world champion with all preparation, and still a world championship match, still tiny bit different. Like, you know, there are so many other factors that make the rating gap tiny bit different. There is the stress, and people raise up to the event. You know, it's like, it's not like a normal, I don't know, like let's say an NBA playoff. Like, okay, the playoffs and games are, even if one team is way better, it's different than the normal league. So better for Anand, because look at this game. I mean, we will see the last 2 games. Let's start with the most recent one. So Carlsen played d4, knight f6. Okay, they went into the Nimzo-Indian, which is the other. In recent years, I think that Anand has played mainly the Nimzo-Indian. Well, he's played a lot, but the Nimzo-Indian, he has played much more. I mean, the move order that they play, if knight f3, they go less for the Queen's Indian. They actually go much more for the Queen's Gambit, declined. And actually that game brought him the most important victory he had in this line was against, yes? No? Huh? Topalov in the last game of the 2010 match. The score was 5.5, 5.5. Anand played black and just really didn't want to lose.
Is there so much wrong with the Bulgarian?
No, nothing is wrong, but they kind of prefer to play more solid and to play this way. So that's where they are heading. Yeah, play Bogo, then knight bd2 is a possibility. Bishop, knight bd2 is, I think, main line. They want to get the bishops here. I mean, okay, Queen's Indian is of course a huge one.
Yeah.
Queen's Indian is of course a huge one, which Anand has played. But today I think they're somewhat playing tiny bit more the Queen's Gambit decline. No, but of course the Nimzo-Indian is one opening that offers so many possibilities for both sides. I mean, many white players choose knight f3. They just don't want to give that many chances or game for black with bishop b4. But I think that's the right approach in many ways. Like, just big game. I mean, Queen c2 was Kasparov favorite. f3 were some great games by Shirov in early 90s. Of course, knight f3, e3, all super classical lines. Even some lines with a3 we have seen quite recently. But okay, e3 and knight g2. Personally, I like this line for white. The other main lines are knight f3, d5, bishop d3. Karpov has played those for black. Yes, Julian.
What do you think black's best would play?
I think, okay, d5 is, I think, a main move here. d5 immediately. But it's a matter of taste, you know, so what? So, like, Anand doesn't know what he's doing. He played castle. Yeah, he played here d5. I think here b6 is something that worth some attention. Either b6 here or the previous move. Maybe it was the previous one. Let me actually, now you got me wondering what exactly. No, d5 on move 4, I think, is what is the other major alternative. But the idea of knight g2 is basically to be able to play a3 and just to recapture with the knight. d5 they play. Yeah, this is main line. I just wonder if what that is. Okay, and here they have bishop d6 is another continuation. For example, there are some games of Nakamura here and Kramnik. I'm just not certain that the database is that updated. I think this is, for example, Gelfand Kramnik for Melody Amber. Really, really strong enough players have played it. Yeah, there's a bishop d6 is one move and bishop e7. And we can actually speak for a second, try to figure out why would black play bishop d6 to provoke c5 and then back? Because he wants to reduce the pressure from the center in this line. On the other hand, white gets some squares. Okay, Anand played bishop e7 and took with the knight. What about take with the pawn? Is that legal? Looks pretty legal. Knight take, bishop d2. Okay, so in general, what would... Yes?
Yeah, click no.
No?
Yeah, and click over to chess piece. Yeah,
Okay, so in general, what does black want to play here?
e6, bishop e7.
And then what? And then what? No. We need to have a plan. Like knight to d7 to f6, just moving the pieces. What's black's plan here?
F5.
f5? c5. Why c5?
Just to break open the center.
That's black's plan. Basically, if you can have few moves to play, what would you play? Let's say white plays rook c1, rook a1, rook c1, rook a1. Okay, well, what you will play? You will play this, for example. You'll play this. And you'll play knight d7 and c5, and black is totally okay. I mean, black has less space. Therefore, by the way, the knight on d7 is more useful than on f6. You need to control those squares. You want to play c5. This is, for example, we get similar ideas in several structures with Queen's Gambit here. Since we mentioned Queen's Gambit, and let me quickly show. The Tartakover variation, for example. Super duper main line, played in so many world championships. Fischer had a game like this against Spassky, a great game. Kasparov, Kasparov, Karpov shot, many. Carlsen had some games in this line. Nakamura Carlsen was a game. b6. I mean, okay, in the famous game that we mentioned before, Topalov against Anand, Anand played knight e4, which is the Lasker variation. Super solid one, and actually won, which is very rare. And one of the other main lines is b6 with a very simple idea. Bishop out, knight d7, c5. I played this when I was 7, simplest opening, 8. Exchange, super solid. Then my chess started deteriorating, but when I was that, I played super solid openings. It happens to everyone. When you're
The one with b6, the Tartakover variation.
Yes, when you're young, you always play a decent line. Then you say, "Oh, this is interesting."
I remember a game with Fischer. He played against Spassky.
Yeah, in-
that variation.
in the World
Kinda
Championship.
crushed him,
Yeah,
Queen a4, and
he won this one. He won this one very decisively.
that game was really cool.
So, this is, I think, quite a smart waiting move. What's going to happen if g3 going to be played? Which is most logical way. I mean, we just want to be able to develop the bishop. How is black going to play here? c5? Okay. c5, let's say I play this move. No, but okay. But first of all, I might just take the pawn and ask you to show me what you have for the pawn. Like, what do you have for the pawn? Not clear. I mean, maybe you do. Bishop takes c5 and some compensation, but no. But I think there's much more principal approach here for black.
Maybe just play c6.
But why c6? No, but moves like c6. I mean, it's not about being solid. It's about, okay, white will play bishop g2, castle e4. When white plays d4, white is going to win the game by gaining more space, more space, more space, and more space. No checkmate. So yeah, you can put all the pieces here, here, here. No, okay. White will start pushing, and that's it.
Yeah, true.
No, b6 is important.
Maybe b6, yes.
Because after bishop g2, bishop b7, and of course black would be very happy to exchange the fianchetto's bishop, right?
Play f3 maybe.
No, but you don't play bishop g2 to play f3.
Of course.
I mean, for example, this actually might be a reasonable move. This can be reasonable.
Takes it on 5.
No, but f5 is weakening this so much. I would not play f5.
Queen b3.
Queen b3 or just castle. I mean, I think this is a reasonable way for black to play and for white to play. Actually, you know, let's see if we have any games in this line exactly. Will be interesting. g3. So they play c5, your move tiny bit. They play b6, my move tiny bit. b6. Several decent players play this. Yeah, this is, for example, we can just see this quickly. This is okay. Obviously, doubt of quite a strong grandmaster played against a weaker player, and of course, allowing. We just said a second ago that allowing this is wrong. I mean, here black is already equal plus because of this bishop.
Yeah.
I mean, probably just equal, but I like a lot e4 here. I think e4 is most principal move to consider here. Let's see. Yeah, castle. I don't like castle so much. I like e4. Computers say they are very close, but I think that after castle, black has easy game to. Thank you. Okay.
Computer like completely changed its mind.
Yeah.
Is the computer
Listening to you.
No, but e4 has to be played here. Okay. So at least we understand. Now, what is the idea of this move? Let's try to understand it slowly in our world. What would white play after b6 immediately?
knight takes d5?
Yes, I think this is what he wants to play exactly, because the rook on h1 is not under attack. So if you take with the pawn, we will get just a very normal position. I mean, actually, I'm not even certain that I will play here. g3. I might play g3. I might also just play knight c3 immediately. Now, if this pawn was on b7, black is very happy. I mean, most of white play is because this square is weak, because b6 has been played, and black will forever either going to have a bad bishop here, where to put the bishop, or just a weak spot on c6. That's the big thing. Black best move here is going to be pawn back. If he no, but seriously, if he can play pawn back and then c6, yes, sir.
What about, I mean, this position reminds me a lot of Tartakower. where-
You see,
I just mentioned that.
we mention it a lot.
But like, it seems like it's a Tartakower where white's played knight e2 and bishop e2, which don't seem that useful. Like, it seems like black should be fine here. I'm just trying to compare like the differences.
Bishop is
In this position, right? Yeah,
Yeah, you know, where black plays c5 early, or
but let's see. I will play this move.
now maybe that's the difference.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And bishop to g2.
Okay.
I mean, I'm thinking we actually 2 minutes before,
Yeah.
like we were just really comparing those structures and those lines exactly, because you're absolutely right. The resemblance, it's exactly a different version. So knight d7 was played. Actually, let's see if we have any games with b6. No many games with b6. No but no b6 at all. That's a bit too bizarre that nobody played b6. Okay, I'm going to question that. Let me see this one for a second. 1 b6. But I can't believe that knight g3 is the reason. Okay, but nobody. Okay, Tokmakov is a strong player. Yeah, he took on c3. We also had the previous game by Anand taking on c3. I think it was Anand Aronian. Okay. Oh man, Ben is going to tell me that I need to click on that to get it back in the board, right, Ben? Let's see if we can do it. Now he's going to be happy. Okay. So bishop d2 is quite some sort of a waiting move. I think that, okay, if take and c5, probably some microscopic advantage for white if he even takes and gets somewhat symmetrical position. b6, somehow I would consider, I mean, I do not believe that this is bad position for black. Anand played this one horrible. Played knight d7 that was played before, g3. Maybe now take, but now they're going to be a bit problem because then it will be tiny bit like, you know, this big Catalan bishop and not easy to see what to do with the c8 bishop. Anand played now b6. Maybe it was better to play it a move before. Okay, so we got exactly the position that you mentioned Tartakover. If you really stick to the knight d7, that's exactly, absolutely the position that we get. But it's interesting. First of all, white bishop is on d2 and not out of the pawn chain.
Right.
But Carlsen played it in a great way. If someone's seen the move, then shush, and if not, then just thinking about our last comment. Huh?
He was there.
You were there? Okay. So what did he play? Bishop b4. You see, it's like it's live, you know, like reporting from Town Memorial. Julian. Okay. No, but this is so logical, you know. We are looking in tiny bit discussing Anand and Carlsen in the match. But also we can take tiny bit for our chess. I mean a lot, right? I mean other than, oh wait, there's going to be a match starting in 2 days, 2.5 days. And this is to our chess. I just said a minute ago, without even remembering what was played in the game, hey, this bishop is not out of the pawn chain. If we said that, we don't need to say more. Okay, so let's exchange it. We don't need to be Carlsen to play that. We just need to understand, you know, is this the world's prettiest bishop? Probably not. You know, it's not. It's not. But it would be very nice. I mean, actually, this is working amazingly well for white, this exchange of the bishops. And actually, and this is already just better for white, I mean, the way that this game went. I wonder, I mean, what happens after c5? We have to get...
I was wondering that.
I mean, I really want to figure this one. Okay, most likely... Actually, I thought that most likely it's going to take, but I think he should take, because if this move... Okay, I can play c4. Let me just for now play this.
What was your point of bishop b4 if you can allow c5? I don't...
No, he wants to weaken the pawns. He wants to play against the hanging pawns. That's what he wants to provoke. So that's what he wants to provoke. But okay, c5, you know, the funny thing is that I don't know if c5 is better or not. I mean, I know that Anand played this game so horrible, was really bad. But probably every club player, doesn't matter what the level, you know, will play c5 without much thinking. Hey, I push a pawn attacking the bishop, and the world champion played something else. If c5 is better, it will be really funny. But okay, let's go. Let's take, you know. First of all, let's see take, and bishop here. So this is classical play against the hanging pawns, and no, maybe not so pleasant.
That bishop's good though.
Knight b6, castle, knight f4, rook c1. I mean, white should be better here. But okay, I'll play queen d7. You know, I'll try to defend this one a bit for black. Knight f4, rook fd8.
Bishop A5.
Bishop where?
A5.
Bishop a5. Hmm. But if bishop a5,
Maybe you can get in d4 some moment.
I'll play rook c8. I mean, the thing is that I have to play d4 because there are also some ideas of a tiny attack here. I have to play d4, or at least be able to threaten in some moment to play d4. Yeah, bishop a5, maybe bishop f6, or maybe even d4. I'm not certain. I mean, somehow I prefer white, but you know, let's just get. Yeah. Computers say white is no. That's what we feel. Okay, but okay. I mean, not. I mean, okay. It's free. It's whatever he knows, and that's our okay. Zero. Somewhat more comfortable for white. All right. Yeah, I mean, I would prefer, of course, white here, but this is nothing, you know, too dramatic. Actually, I want to see what. Yeah, okay, c5. Actually, I wonder then maybe knight b6, which I played, was a bit less accurate. Knight f6. I thought that I don't want the knight to be threatened to capture. Okay, knight f6 or knight b6 in both ways. No, this is funny. I mean, I'll just show this, like what the computer is saying. Like I wonder who here is really going to play knight f6, and now play g5. Seriously? No.
What about science?
Yeah.
Okay, so knight f6, rook e8. Okay, so very solid. Doesn't want to create any weaknesses, doesn't want to give anything. On the other hand, he also doesn't want to take on b4, c6. Maybe c6 was not that great. I don't know. Something was not that great because he got killed here. But what could he have played? a5, forcing the exchange but creating some weakness.
Can you take on d4 and play bishop a6?
Yeah. Then you're gonna have like some weakness. This one's gonna be super duper weak. Okay, rook e1.
He just takes in queen d6.
Okay, so play queen d6 first, no? Or you're afraid that he will play like knight c3. That's actually a very good point. But this is bad, dude. I mean, like, like I said before, if you take this one here, and you can play c6 and a6, of course black is better. I mean, just take this pawn back and be able to play here. Doesn't matter, even if white doesn't have double pawns. Totally okay for black, very, very nice. This hole here, that's why white is waiting for this b6 move and then capturing this huge hole over there. No, this is unpleasant. Maybe something like bishop d6 here, just bishop d6 and waiting a bit. I mean, it's a bit, those are the types of positions, you know, there is a reason why I chose those two games. Where Anand is winning, or where Anand can win, exactly the same type of game that we've seen in the previous hour. Complicated, messy, defense, attack. I mean, okay, again, we'll see in which form he was, but in 2008 against Kramnik, it was just incredible. Those type of positions, yeah, rook c8.
I guess bishop h3 kind of.
No, but okay, bishop h3, go back. Like, to be honest, c6, if I hadn't seen the game and seen how it went, no, c6 looks super logical, but I just know that he somehow got crushed a little bit after that, so. But c6 looks logical. c6, take. Okay, so what is white's play here? I mean, there are two ways actually to play here. Huh? Play for c6, perfect. Like some b4, knight here, maybe aiming for e5, putting pressure against c6. Right, this is one plan. Very, very normal. There's another plan that Carlsen actually proved to be just really, really strong. So there's another idea. If we see the knight on e2 and we understand some potential for f3, 4, rook e1, knight f4. Yeah, somehow combining everything. We want to put pressure here, so we mentioned knight, b4, and so on. And this is bad bishop. Yeah. The thing is that if black would have played this move, okay, nothing, pass. Now f3 is not that impressive. Why? Well, what would black play here very logically? Okay, and then what? Yeah, rook a to e8 to start, but also something like c5. Usually we would say c5 is just a weakness, but this is also weak now, and this is blocked. So c5 is much more possible. I mean, of course, rook e8 is the move, but after this, after bishop c8, he played queen a4. Maybe here, once again, bishop d7 was a possibility.
Instead of bishop c8, can you play rook a e8?
Yeah, rook e8 or... I mean, the thing is that it's not really easy to find any counterplay for black here.
Just one stop.
Okay, so let's play rook a8, stopping white's play. Okay, what about this move?
Now bishop c8. Bishop a8.
No. No, I'm not. No, not putting the move on the board. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. Also, white might, in some lines, go queen b4. I mean, black might not exchange, but remember when we said b6 and this is going to be weak forever, that bishop on g2 is actually very pretty in those lines. Prettier than on d3. No, this is just a bit uncomfortable for black. Okay, Anand felt it. Maybe just some g6 and king g7, just tiny bit. Probably I will, if up to me, I'll play g6, king g7, maybe thinking about creating something here. That's what black usually does. Bishop c8 was not really bad. But maybe now this move was really wrong. Because what happened in the last two moves, he took all the pieces from this square and this square. Tiny bit too much, actually. You know, we had the rook on e7 develop. Why he didn't want to play this? I know why. I think he was afraid of queen b4. He didn't want to play this position, because now he's forced to exchange. That's what bothered him. And actually, b5 is an idea. Yeah, actually, this queen before is tiny annoying. I mean, I'm just looking and thinking. Yeah, computer's not afraid. Okay, he wants to play knight d3. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this queen before to me would be more annoying than knight d3. But okay. No, bishop c8 not so. But if this is correct, and I think this is correct, then bishop c8 is not right move. Then he should have played our g6. Okay. Bishop c8, rook c7. But now he's toast. Yeah, I mean, I remember Anand said, like, sorry, Carlsen said that after f3, he just couldn't see anything for black, pretty much. Because, amazing, there were two pieces here. I mean, seriously, what to play now against this? So we had the idea in our head. Maybe Anand overlooked this idea. Yeah, those are the types of positions that I think Carlsen will be really seeking to get in the game. Like, no big tactics, no huge dynamics, kind of solid, simple. And he is just finding the right plan or shifting play. But what to play here to survive? I mean, problem with c5, it opens the diagonal. e4 comes with e5. Maybe not much to do here to survive. Bishop e6, e4. Take. Maybe not take, but let's just see for a second if computer has any smart idea. Yeah, but g5, yeah, we were joking about g5. And c5 also impossible. No, it's just if you need to play g5 here, yeah, you just wrong spot. No, we joked about it before. No, nobody. Maybe Carlsen can play g5 himself, but yeah. But this is amazing how he lost here. Just amazing. There's a famous game, the one I mentioned, Kasparov Anderson. Similar idea with rook on c7, and he played d5. You know, maybe just for illustration, we'll show it after this game. It will be actually very good. And he won material. Yeah, this is really strong. This is the heart of his idea. And this move. Yeah, just resign here. Rook d6, e5, rook e7, take on d5. White rooks are on the files. No, are there any possibilities for some blockade? Maybe. Not really. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Amazing, this dude. I mean, if take, then actually rook d6 for a second, and then take back. Is this possible? Let's see what happens after take. Is it possible to blockade at all? Yeah, maybe something like this. And now rook here and some luft. And if he gets his big dream, he will get into a rook endgame, pawn down and survive something. No, but this e5, like, no survival, nowhere. Yeah. No, so this is not pretty. Just resign. Yeah, I mean, he's just going to play this and either come from here or just take the pawn. I mean, if the rooks were otherwise, he might maybe tiny bit to play, but yeah, so this is, I think, their last game that they played. Tiny bit scary, you know. I mean, I remember actually Grandmaster Rogers that was here for the Singfield Cup. He said that he has a flight to the Women's World Championship match, and he will be arriving like to the last third of the tournament, the match. Well, there was no last third of the match. And it was best out of 10 and was over by game 7. So I actually don't know if he made it or not. Yeah, 5.5, 1.5 was. So, I don't know. Speaking about the structure, let's see that Kasparov-Anderson game that we have spoken. So we will say bye-bye to Kasparov and Anand for a second. D4, knight f6, c4. Yeah, today, by the way, today a line that is much more popular for people that want to play very solid. Like, for example, some important games are by my fellow GM residents here, Varakobian. That's a very strong grandmaster playing for the US Olympic team. He plays this and many other strong players. I mean, actually some big games. Carlsen beat Aronian in this line, and Nakamura beat Aronian, and some big games in this line. And actually already Kasparov-Karpov played this. Then they take, because what's black's idea? Okay, if knight f3, he wants to transpose to normal position that was supposed to be okay for black. So take, and bishop f4. Actually, there was just now a game, a month and a half ago in the Paris Grand Prix. Nakamura beat Bacro. I mean, okay, queen c2 is a move here. And also this, by the way, was played in St. Louis in the match Nakamura-Punemarov. So lots of big names playing this. Yeah, Nakamura played something like this and h4, which is one of the main lines. So, but this bishop e7 is, if players don't want to get into same type of play like in Kasparov-Anderson, then bishop e7 first. Yeah, I think this is just very pleasant line for white. I mean, maybe if black plays perfect, he can be close to okay, but I think quite it. Yeah, and f3. I mean, very simple ideas. They were played 25 years ago. I mean, okay, they were probably played before that, but Kasparov plays suddenly, everyone knows. Yeah, he's waiting with e4, I think mainly because he doesn't want black to play c5, and the king will be on this diagonal and tiny bit. So he's tiny bit making some preparation. If c5 now, just take, move the queen and blockade. Well, just better. But there are some lines that this is the way to be played. Yeah. And what now? I mean, there are many moves that can be played here. If you remember, white wants to play e4. About an hour and a half ago, we were looking at critical game in Carlsen Anand, the great game that Anand won with black. And at some point, there was a move after queen d6 by white, knight d4. You were asking me, Carlsen sacrificed the exchange. You remember the moment where he sacrificed the exchange? What happens if bishop f1? And we got some aggressive suggestions. g4 by Julian, bishop takes e4, and we suggested queen d8 to fight for the dark squares. Look at this position. White's pieces, the knights, they are on dark squares, so they are all controlling light squares. The bishop controls light squares. e4 is coming. Very typical to this line. We need something to protect the dark squares. So first queen f2. Very similar to the queen d8, which we suggested in the other game, which then Julian was really happy. The computer said that it was the best move. No, this idea is very typical. We want to play on light squares. Everything is controlling the light squares. I need something for dark squares. Yeah, and this exactly position and exactly this move reminded me this game where Carlsen played d5 and Kasparov played d5. And after take, very strong intermediate move. Bishop b5, no rook d6 because e5, Rook c7, take. This is the real beauty. He doesn't want to exchange, and now he has two threats. What are his two threats? d6 is a nice threat, right? Winning a rook, not bad. And the second one? But there are 1,000 pieces. I mean, here. Queen take a7, take a pawn. Yes, yes. Dude, that's how we win chess games. You think only checkmate. No, no, it's winning that pawn. And went on to win. Take another pawn. Two connected pawns, not really bad. Not really. Well, and what you do with passed pawns? Just push them. Push, push, push. Push, push. Yeah, it's not bad. Push, push, push. But very similar, the idea of the d5 break. Different positions, but a lot of the same. Alrighty. Well, you know, maybe tomorrow we will see some more games, and then, you know, we will let them play on Friday and see what's going there.